Hey guys, we are going to be doing 3.2 today. I am not at school, so please take a few minutes, pause the video, and do the bell work. No stamps, just get these problems in so that you can get your bell work grade for later. Okay, once you have that done, let's open up 3.2. You have a test on 10/21. Take a look at my calendar if you're here in class. You will have a vocabulary quiz on 10/6, and the vocabulary quiz will go on your quarter 2 grade. Notice the end of the quarter is 10/8, so please make sure all your grades are where you want them. If not, email me or come talk to me any other day. Sorry, I'm not here today. The last assignments going in your grade that have not already been put in, let's see, quarter 1, are 3.2, that's today, that's your homework today, and 3.3, you have done everything else. So those are the last things. So if there's something bigger that you need to do in my class than a couple of homework assignments, that would be preferred, like a test fix or like getting your notes in, okay? Anything that you need to turn in physically to me, just leave it on my desk. I will see it tomorrow. So, but these are the last 2 new things going in your grade. So let's take our highlighters and let's highlight the learning target and get started with 3.2. I can explain the steps used to solve linear equations, and I can solve and interpret the solution to equations in context. Context means word problems. So if you flip your page over, that's a word problem. And then explain the steps to solve linear equations, we can do that. So let's make sure we have the basics down. If we're going to combine like terms, that means my terms that are the same, meaning they both have x's, go together. So 15 plus 2 is 17. And then I've got my constant terms, that means they don't have a variable on them. That's 7 minus 4 minus 12. The sign that's in front of the number goes with the number. So 7 minus 4 minus 12 is -9. That's what I put in a delta math. I've simplified, I'm done. Okay? Can I distribute? Distributing is when I'm multiplying, so we're just going to put multiply with parentheses. So what I am saying here, if I were to zoom in super close, is I'm saying 4 times all of this stuff. And I'm going to multiply it separately. So 4 times 8x is going to be, well, let's write it out before we simplify. 4 times 8x minus 4 times 3z plus 4 times 7. That is how I distribute. I just dropped a 4 in with every term in the parentheses, and I'm going to simplify. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 3 is 12. Notice my negative stayed a negative the whole time. 4 times 7 is 28. All my terms are different, so I cannot combine like terms. That is my answer. Can I solve a one-step equation? That means one inverse operation to get x by itself. So I'm going to rewrite it so that it's big. X divided by 3 equals 45. So I have a divide by 3. I need to do the opposite, inverse. So I'm going to multiply by 3 on both sides. And I get x equals 45 times 3 is 135. Two-step equation means 2 steps, 2 inverse operations to get h alone this time. I have a positive 11. I know there's nothing in front of it, but that's a secret plus. So I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides. And then I'm going to divide by 2 because that's a 2 times h. So h equals 5. Okay. That's 2 steps. Now, multi-step. More than 2 steps. So 3 or more. Step 1 is distribute. Make sure that the sign stays with the number. So in my example here, I have -3 is going to get distributed. 6x minus 3x. -3 times 6 is -18 equals 42. Okay, I'm going to flip colors so we can see. That was step 1. I distributed. That's multiplying into parentheses. Step 2 is going to be combine like terms. So I have a 6x and a 3x. They're going to go together. 6 minus 3 is 3. I don't have any other like terms in this problem, so we're just going to drop everything else down. Ooh, let's make it this pretty blue. Okay, we're going to move the constant term. That's the number without the variable by applying an inverse operation. Notice that once you have done step 1 and 2, these are your new steps, right? Distributing and combining like terms. We are used to problems that look like this, that are 2-step problems. Once you've done distributing and combining like terms, you now have a 2-step problem. Literally every time. This will happen every time. So right now I am doing what I've always done. I have a -18. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to plus 18 to both sides of the equal sign. 42 plus 18 is 60 equals 3x, because I'm just dropping that down. Let's do a color we can see a little bit better. Maybe this orange. Hint, you should always be just adding or subtracting. So notice we added because it was a subtract. My last job is I need to split up the 3 and the x. So I need to get the variable alone by applying another inverse operation, which is dividing by 3 on both sides, because it's multiplied by 3, and I get x equals 20. You should always be multiplying or dividing in this step. So if it was like this one, where we had to divide by 3, I multiplied by 3. This time I had to multiply by 3, so I divided by 3. Okay, I'm going to go back to blue. Flip your page. Here's your word problems. Here's your second learning target. Serenity buys milk and potatoes at the store. She pays a total of $31.69. She pays a total of $4.09 for the milk only, and she buys 4 bags of potatoes that each cost the same amount. Write and solve an equation for x. Okay. First things first. All of your problems today will be in the form y equals mx plus b. Hopefully that feels super familiar. Where m is your slope, b is your y-intercept, and then today x is your unknown. Oop, I can spell. X is what you're going to be solving for every time, and y is going to be your total. Okay, if I had to come up with a pattern for this, something that, like a trick for coming up with these equations and solving really easily, my trick is this. I always look for the total first. It's usually the easiest one for me to see. I read that she paid a total of $31.69, and for me that's overall, right? It was $4.09 for just the milk. But I am paying for milk and potatoes, so $31.69 is my total overall. Next, 2 and 3 kind of interchange. Okay, you have an added value and a multiplied value, right? You have the slope, which is multiplied to the x, and you have the b, which is added to the x in y equals mx plus b. So we've got to find the intercept, aka we need the starting value, or we're also going to call it the added value. It's always going to be added or subtracted. It's a singular thing that we only add in once. Whereas your other number, your slope, also known as your rate, that's the number attached to the x, meaning it is your multiplied value. Okay, so it's something that you're going to add in several times. So I paid a total overall of $4.09 for the milk. But then I paid something 4 times for 4 bags of potatoes. So this is how I would write my formula, my equation. 4 bags of potatoes times how much each cost. So circle each for me. And we're going to say this is a multiplying word. This, if you couldn't see it in any other way, this to me says that this is multiplying. So I've got 4 bags of potatoes times how much they cost each time, plus a one-time milk payment of $4.09. That all equals $31.69. Once I have this, it goes in the big box. And then I need to solve to find how much each bag of potatoes actually costs. So we're going to subtract $4.09, and that gets 27.60 equals 4x, and then I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. I'm going to put it up here so I've got room. X equals 6.9. So the equation 31 before I've solved goes in here, and the equation after I've solved goes in the little box. And then I would hit submit and I'd be done and it'd be great. Okay, let's look at a new problem with fresh eyes. If that one got a little complicated, let's look at it again. Under a cell phone plan, Suave pays a flat cost of $39 per month and $4 per gigabyte. He wants to keep his bill at $45.40 per month. Write and solve an equation to determine X. So my total is $45.40. I know that because, for one, it's the biggest number, and for two, it's what I want my overall bill to be. Based on how this was written, I know that that's what I want my bill to be. That's my goal, so I'm gonna make that my total. And then I see the words flat cost, and I know you guys don't pay bills quite yet, but if I have a cell phone bill, let's say I'm getting my bill from T-Mobile, I have a cell phone plan under T-Mobile, I could have my phone shut off for the entire month. I could never touch it, never call anyone, never text anyone, but I would still have to pay a flat cost, that's what that means, of $39 per month. Every month, no matter what. That's always going to get added in. So that's going to be my added value. But then I've got $4 per gigabyte. So per, circle that for me. That's another multiplying word. Per tells me that's my multiplying stuff. So what I'm saying is I got to pay $39 no matter what. I could shut my phone off. I'd still have to pay $39. But I do need to use my phone, and it's $4 for every gigabyte I use. So I could use 1 gigabyte, and that'd be $4. I could use 2 gigabytes, and that'd be $8, also known as 4 times 2. But I don't know how much I'm going to use yet, so we're going to do 4 times x instead. Now I've got my equation we're going to solve. Geez. 6.40 equals 4x. Divide by 4. 6.4 equals, or not 6.4. 6.4 divided by 4 is 1.6. So that's how many gigabytes I can use to keep my bill at $45.40. Okay, take 30 seconds. Try this problem on your own. Marquez has a points card for a movie theater. I should say my mom. My mom does this. So maybe you aren't super big on the movie theater, but this is pretty real world for my life because this is my mom. He receives 70 rewards points just for signing up. He earns 9.5 for each visit to the movie theater, and he needs 184 points for a free movie ticket. So 184 is my total. That's my biggest number for 1, and 2, that's what I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to get to 184. Just for signing up, you can only sign up once, so we can only add in these points once. 70 plus 9.5 for each visit. So if I go to 1 movie, that's 9.5 points. If I go to 2 movies, then that's 19 points, whatever. 9.5 times 2, and so on. So notice this is V for visits, so be careful which variable I want you to use. If you use X, it'll mark you wrong. And we solve. I'm gonna bring it over here because I need room. V equals, well, I guess equals V, because V's over here, equals 12. 12 is what I'd put in a delta math. Well, and I'd put this. So before I've solved and then after I've solved. Okay, try it on your homework. I will come back next class and we will talk about it. Do your best. Watch this video if you need. Email me if you have questions. Thank you guys.